So that's turned on. Yeah, so I'm going to say, yeah, so this evening it's a bit cooler than this time last week, obviously, so that's a good thing. We're going to work on a bit more standing work in the warm-up, and just add something slightly different in. And we're going to work on abdominals. Just going to bring that up a bit. Abdominals, glutes, etc, etc. Yeah, so, but yeah, a bit more standing and something slightly different to do. We're going to use the ball tonight a little bit as well. I put it down and then I didn't put anything in the plan. So I've just added it in really quickly where we could use the ball. Okay, so just checking everybody's ready. Okay, brilliant. So we'll start off with just some shoulder shrugs. You have to be careful how you say that. You couldn't say that when you've had a few drinks, could you? Shoulder shrugs. And then just roll all the way back. And then bring them, just roll forwards. Okay, bring those arms down. Then what we'll do, we'll just take one arm forward and the other one back. Oh, people coming in now. And then we'll bring arms down. Then let's just take them all the way up and stretch, cross over and come all the way down. And then we do that another time. Stretch up and breathe out as you bring them down. Then we're going to take the arms out in front, squeeze the shoulders forwards and back. All our normal stuff at the moment. And bring the arms down. Roll the shoulders again. And this time we're going to take the arms back out in front with that little waist twist, stretch, twist, whatever you want to call it. So we're working into the middle, which is called the thoracic area of the spine. Last one. Bring the arms down. Then we're going to just relax the shoulders and just take the head over to one side. Bring it into the middle, over to the other side. Bring it into the middle and back over. Bring it into the middle, the last one. And bring it into the middle. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is just with the feet about a hip width or shoulder width apart, we're just going to just bend the knees and squeeze up, just a small squat. You're not going too far, don't go too far down. And just squeeze those knees out a little bit and keep that squeezed out position. And squeeze the glutes as you come back up. Lots of squeezing going on, isn't there? And then we just come up to standing. We've got lots of standing work to do for those of you that came in a bit later and missed it. We're just going to do a bit longer standing warm up today with some slightly different variations on exercises. So next thing, I'm just trying to think of a couple more things before we go into them. Let's just take the toes. So we're just going to spread the toes out and let them sort of really stretch. And then we're going to relax them. I'll do it with my fingers as well. And then lift the heels. bring the heels down. And just another stretch of the toes. And relax and lift the heels. Whoops, I nearly overbalanced and come back down. Okay, so yeah, so hip width apart. We're just going to go about hip width apart with the feet. We're going to start off with just a lift of the heels, and then you're going to come down, you're going to bend into a small bend. I call it a bend more than a squat, and then you're going to straighten and come up to lifted. So it's a great stretch for the calf muscles. Bring those heels down, push that bottom down behind, and squeeze the glutes as you come up, and now lift, keeping the body tall. Come back down and down into a small squat and straighten. Now you're going to take the feet, you're going to bring the heels in together, and you're going to take the feet out. So don't bring the heels too close, because your calves might get in the way. And then this time we're going to lift the heels in that position. Feels a bit different. Bring them down, and then you're going to just a small bend, so don't go too far, and come up and lift the heels. So it's working a bit more sort of into the hip area, and lift the heels. So lots of concentration, down into a bend, lift the heels, good for balance, and bring those heels down. Now we're going to take it a lot wider, so almost like what I call my plie squat position, and then you're going to lift the heels, which is quite weird because you're quite wide, if you maybe not too wide, and then you're going to come down with the knees out and come up and lift the heels. Bend the knees and lift. And last one. That's me not concentrating. Bring the heels down and bend the knees, and then straighten. Bring the feet in. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the arms out to the side. You can use your weights if you want to. If you want to add a bit more to this exercise, and just squeeze the shoulders down. Try not to lift them up. I'm going to lift that one leg, lift the knee, and we're going to lower it. And we're going to lift that again. So thinking about standing tall, so just stretch your torso up a little bit more and lift. And try and sort of, with the toes, try and splay them out a bit. It's quite hard to do because sometimes I scrunch mine up. I don't know if you do the same. Lifting that knee again. And bring it down. So this last one, we're going to lift that knee, just hold if we can. Try and concentrate. And bring that leg down. Let's just bring the arms down, roll the shoulders. I think I'll take my feet onto the floor. This is a bit too much movement in the mat. Okay, so we'll take those arms out again. We're going to come onto the other leg now. So pulling up through the abdominals, lifting that knee. It does help. And bring it down. If that gets too much on your shoulders, you can bring the arms down, or even sort of slightly lower. That's what I'm going to do. Ooh, and come back. And another lift. And lower. I'm going to bring my arms down just a little bit, just because my shoulders are not happy about that. And another lift. And this last one now we'll try and hold it a little bit longer. So get a good base. and bring it down. It's all about the concentration, isn't it? And just take those legs, just take them out. So I think we're going to do side work next. So what we're going to do is we're just going to just keep a nice strong sort of body, torso, and we're going to take the leg out. And rather than doing it really fast today, we're going to, well, not really fast, but fast, we're going to just take the leg out, hold it, and bring it in. And you can do what you like with your arms. If you find it easier to take both arms out, you can. So you're keeping a nice strong torso and you're bringing it in. You don't normally do it that slowly, do we? So it's good to hold the position and come back in slowly. Okay, last one. And come back in. So walk it out. And take it over to the other side. So strong, feel strong first, and lift. And lower. And when you're ready, lifting again. And slowly come in this time. Let's see if we can do one where we go out slowly. And bring in slowly. It's not easy, is it? And one more. And bring it in. Okay, so shake those legs. And I'm going to face this way because we're going to just work the bottom behind. And so we're going to take the arms out in front. You're going to take one leg behind. And you're going to squeeze into your bottom and hold, and then bring it in. And squeeze and bring in. Another one. We'll just do one more after this. Bring it in. So just walk it out for a second. And we take it to the other side. So squeeze. So I think it's the main area of your bottom. Squeezing and coming back in. And squeeze. And in. And two more. And in. Keep putting in through the abdominals, otherwise you can feel that arch in your back. Bring it in. Perfect. I think we've done it. Oh, apart from we can just do, now we're just going to sort of come down onto sort of hands on your thighs, and you're just going to move your bottom and your hips around forwards. Actually bring your feet in a bit. So you're working into the hips, but also your knees. And then you're taking it the other direction. It's a funny movement actually. Okay, and then coming up. And then just try it standing. So you're taking the abdominals forward, and the hips, and then pushing the bottom behind and change direction. Quite a nice way of mobilising your hips. Okay, good. Right, let's think anything else we could do. No, I don't think so. We'll just circle the ankle. And then we'll change direction. We'll change over to the other side. And change direction. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our mats. and we are going to start off, if you stay seated, we're going to go into all fours position to start off with. Great. Right, bring your ball down if you have one, and your blocks if you have them, or a little cushion. So as normal, you could always use your small weights if you want to. Just have everything close by. So you've got options of weights, but generally I would say use the smaller weights, the 0.5s or the ones, because these ones here are 1.5, so it's a little bit too heavy for these exercises, I would say. Bring them all down. So we're coming onto all fours first. So you know what you're doing. So shoulders over the wrists if you can. If you need to put blocks underneath, you can do. I was thinking of doing that actually. Okay, and knees, hips over your knees. So let's just go into our shoulder blade dips first. So this is where you let the shoulders sort of push towards each other and then stretch away. So you might hear a few cracks. That's fine. Just go with the movement, keeping the elbows straight. Okay, so last one. And then just take the weight off the wrist just for a second. And then we're going to start off with our side move. It's sort of like thread the needle. So you take the arm up, you stay on this one side, you come down, under, through, and just stretch back. So you can stretch that arm forwards to get a good stretch into the shoulder of the other side. So you stretch, and then you come under. How are you doing? Okay, last one. And then coming up into your all fours position, taking it to the side. So do you find that there's one side that's a lot stiffer than the other side? My shoulder just cracked when I came down into that thread the needle position. Last one, this is. And then just take the weight off your wrist just for a second. Okay, so hands back in position. We're going to tuck the toes under. You can actually bring the knees a little bit closer, and we're going to lift those knees just very slightly. And you're pulling up through the abdominals as you lift, and then you're going to lower back down. So always think about that. Lift up here, and then lift the knees. So I only want you to lift them a few centimetres, if that. The closer you go to the mat, the more you're working. If you lift them up to here, you won't be working those abdominals. So putting into the abdominals first, and then a little lift. And keep breathing. The last one, because I know it's quite tough on the wrists. Great, okay, well done. So just a circle of the wrists, and then change the other direction. And give them a shake if you need to. Okay, So for this one, we're going to do straight leg lift. So you can either go onto your elbows if that's going to feel better for you. You don't have to use your wrists again, or you can stay in the all-fours position. So whichever way you get into position, you're going to straighten one leg and you're going to lift and lower. So this is just a lift and a lower. You're not bringing the knee in or anything. Squeezing up. So when we're doing this, even if you're down on your elbows, you're still putting that little bit of pull up through the abdominals, and you're staying on the one side. Can you feel it in your bottom? That's where I want you to feel it. That squeeze as you lift. This is your last one on this side. Let's bring that knee in. Let's take the weight off for those of you that need to. Most of us do. Come back into position, pulling up through the abdominals, stretch the leg away, keep this pulled up, zipped up, and squeeze and lift. Last one. So let's just briefly come down into a shell stretch. It's just quite nice just to stretch the shoulders and let the wrists have a rest. And now we're going to, because we're in this position, we're in a good position just to come up onto our knees and do some waist twisting. So we'll start just with the arms out in front. So think about pulling in through the abdominals slightly. So I'm not sticking our bottom out. I'm going to pull it up. And when you're ready, you're going to go over to your right side. Feel that twist into the waist. Bring it back in. So let's breathe in, breathe out to your left side. Breathe in. Breathe out and then breathe in again and breathe out to twist. So you can just do this in your own time. If you want, you could do a couple of pulses if that feels all right. If it doesn't, just stick with what we're doing. It's only a small movement. This will be your last one. And just bring those arms down. So just give them a bit of a shake. So what we're going to do now is come down into half plank. So coming down onto our elbows for now and onto our fronts. So I did a bit of this morning. So if need be, you can just lift your tummy. So if you want, you can just lift the tummy off and hold that position with breathing and then release it. But for everyone else that can go up to the next level, then we're going to lift the hips as well. So if you want to make it harder, don't forget you can take the elbows forward each time that we do it, and forward a little bit more. So squeeze those shoulders down, lift up through the head, neck, thoracic spine, and lift. Now you probably hear me breathing. You've really got to breathe through this. But you've got to lift up, feel that rib cage, feel the abdominals. We're going to hold it a bit longer. If you need to go back down, you can do, and you can do this in your own time. Everyone else, we can come back down. Ooh, now, so we're going to do two more. You could do them either in your own time, or you can do extras if you want to, or you can follow with my sort of timings. I'm going to take my elbows just a little bit further forward, not too much, because I've already done these today. And we're going to lift up when you're ready. So it's always thinking about pulling up through the abdominals. Think of the navel towards the spine, squeeze the shoulders down slightly. I can smell food as well, which is quite off-putting. Keep lifting and lower. I felt that one, so we've got one more to do. I'm going to bring my elbows back closer a bit because that makes it a bit easier. You can go further away if you want to. So when you're ready, lifting up through the head, neck, shoulders, thoracic spine, and keep lifting. And release. I really felt that. Did you too? Okay, so now we're going to come up onto our knees, but we're going to stay on our elbows. So we're going to come down into this. Actually, what's quite nice, just do a little stretch back for a second. And then come back forwards, come back forwards. That doesn't sound quite right, does it? So we're going to do a bent knee lift. So we're going to lift with the knee bent, and we're going to just squeeze and then bring the knee in. And here comes treble. Squeeze and knee. That's a big stretch. Okay. Yes. Okay, and then just bring that knee down. If you need to have a quick stretch back, you can do, and then come back into position and take it over to the other side. Just have to be careful I don't get scratched in my eye. So squeezing, really thinking about the abdominal, not the abdominals, she's putting me off, the glutes. Squeezing as you lift. Yes, I know you're gorgeous. Yes. And when the knee's coming in, I forgot to say, it's sort of working into the abdominals and then the glutes as you lift. So last one, I've lost count now. And now we can just have a stretch back. And let's just hold that for a few seconds. And come back up. Okay, so I thought we had one more to do, have we? No. Yeah, no, that's right, that's fine. So now we'll come on to our backs into quick position. So let's bring everything over. Bring the ball close by, because we'll use that shortly. And your weights if you want to use them. Excellent, okay. So I'll tell you what we'll do first actually, what would be quite nice. I haven't planned this because we are going to do some bridge. I'd just like you to do a couple of bridge, but it's just quite nice for to work with the back and the mobilisation. So we're going to just squeeze and lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. Just going to hold that, feet flat on the floor, relax the shoulders. And now we're just going to roll back down very gently and just feel each vertebrae of the spine come down, and we'll just do that one more time. Like I said, we will do some shoulder bridge shortly, but it somehow felt like we just needed to do a bit of a stretch and a mobilisation into that spine after what we've just done. I don't know if you felt the same. So now we're in our neutral position. So for you it could be a big arch under your back, or it could be no arch. Whatever works for you, feels comfortable. And then the arms come out to the side, and we're just going to take one forearm back. So this is working our rotator cuff muscles. and then the other. So one at a time. And I always say that, you know, one side often feels a lot tighter than the other, or it could be a bit more cracky. Could hear a few more cracks going on in the shoulders. And then when you're ready, just bring those arms back up to first position and then just take the arms down by your side. Okay, let's take the ball actually, and we're just going to roll that away. It's quite a nice one to start with. So we're going to just imprint the back slightly, so that will just engage your abdominals. We're going to stretch the ball away, just keeping that slight imprintation. Is that a word? Or am I thinking indentation? Slight imprint. And stretch. Good. Relax your shoulders. So after this stretch, let's bring the ball back and just place the heels quite low, toes are higher, and we're just going to lift that bottom off and just bring the bottom down. You can't really go down through the spine in the same way you can without the ball. And another lift. See if you can hold that. If you want to, you can challenge yourself a bit more and take the arms up. You could even take them behind if that feels okay. And then you're just going to bring the back down slowly. And just do one more stretch away, so that might be quite nice. Stretch those legs. And bring them back in. And just bring the ball over. Just take it, just move it out of the way. So, back imprinted, legs come up into tabletop, and we're going to tap, toe tap. So let's start with reasonably quick ones. I think I'll take you through some variations today. So after this next one, just bring the knees into your chest. And then we'll just take the legs back out, just be careful, come back into your tabletop position. So what we do, keep the pointed toe, but we're just going to go, I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll do 1, 2, 3, tap, and come back in 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1. Keeping that back imprinted. Just a couple more of those. Then bring the knees into your chest. And then this time we're going to do the heel taps. So we're going to flex the feet this time. And this just ensures, like, you tend to go down a little bit lower. So it means that your back's going to have to work a little bit harder. So just keep going with that. Last one. Bring the knees in. Just a little rock from side to side. And then just bring the feet down one at a time. And then what we're going to do, actually, we take the ball back. I'm going to put the ball between your thighs, and you're just going to squeeze and release. So squeeze. Oh, always cracks when I first do it. So you're going to squeeze and hold. They're going to make these a bit slower to start with, and then release. Feet flat on the floor, squeeze and hold, and release. So really engaging those inner thighs. I just thought of something we could do actually when we go back to seated. We'll see. We did it last week, I think. And then we're just going to do some quicker squeezes. The thighs coming in towards the ball together. Can you feel that now? Okay, and just slight release. So we're going to keep that ball there actually, just move it if you need to a little bit. And just keeping a little bit of a squeeze, we're going to just squeeze now the bottom and lift your hips. And then we're going to heel lift and toe lift. So heels and toes. This is sort of stretching into the shins and your calf muscles. Now just hold that position, just squeeze up a little bit more. And now you're going to just go down halfway and squeeze and lift. Halfway and squeeze. It's not easy, is it? Oh, halfway and squeeze up. We're going to do 3 more of those. 2, 1. And then we're just slowly going to come back down through the vertebrae. And then we're going to remove the ball. Let's just stretch those legs away for a second and just bring the toes up towards you so you're stretching into the calves, flexing the feet. Feet flat on the floor again. And we just do, let's do some ab work. Let's take the hands behind. So just your basic ab prep first. So we keep the head heavy into your hands, slight tuck of the chin, but it's the abdominals. As you lift up, it's the abdominals doing the work. So I want you to look up towards the ceiling. I don't want you to pull your head forwards. Let's try and keep that head just cupped in your hands. No, not too much. I don't want straining at the neck. And a breath outwards as you lift, in as you lower. So then just bring that head down, leave the hands where they are. Well, we tried this movement where you bring the knee in as well. So you might want to lift one knee ready, keep that back imprinted, and as you lift, you bring the knee in, and you can straighten it if you want to, or you can leave it there. Just sort of see what works for you. Can you just feel that it works? The abdominals work a lot harder. You really need to breathe out as you lift. And bring that knee in. We'll just do one more. So you're going to bring the head back down, keep the hands under your head, but bring that leg down. Just readjust if you need to. Bring the other leg up. I'm going to stretch that first. Back is imprinted. Just try that first one and keep going. Try not to pull the head in. I know it's difficult not to. And just really work with the breath. Last one. And bring that head down. Okay, brilliant. So you might want to bring the knees into the chest, or you might want to stretch into the back. It's up to you. I'm going to stretch. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll just bring the knees into the chest now. We're going to roll like a ball up into seated position. Brilliant. So let's do some side work. So come down onto your side. We're going to do, you can potentially do some work on our shoulder, you know, on our elbow in that position. And you can, I'll let you know when we get to it, it'll be the next exercise. So the first one is side leg circles. So lift under the waist slightly, and we're going to stretch that leg. So really think about stretching that top leg away from you. So even before you start, stretch it away, and that will help you also lift under the waist. And let's concentrate on a nice round, large circle without the hips moving too much. And let's change direction when you're ready. Good, okay, so bringing that leg all the way down. So what we're going to do is and this is where you can come up onto your shoulder if you want to. We're going to do a leg lift and then a leg kick. So if you find that easier, I'll do a bit of both. So you're going to do a leg lift and then a leg kick. That leg's always a little bit far back. So if you find that's getting a bit too much, you can always come back down. You can get a higher leg lift when you're down here. But sometimes it's nice to have a different position for that leg kick. So we're keeping that leg as if we're sliding it along a table, keeping it that same height. Now on that leg kick forwards, we're going to drop the toe slightly and we're just going to lift and lower. Just that horrible thing we had to do at the end. This is where we just consolidate that glute work. Last one. Bring that leg back. Give yourselves a pat. Good, well done. So just bend the knees now and bring both of your blocks in, and we'll just do our open book, which is a nice one to finish those exercises on. So hands out in front, keep the chin slightly tucked, try and just watch your arm in a peripheral vision and stretch it, then come back. We've got one more to do. And then bring that hand down. Good. Okay, so we're going to change it over to the other side. I already felt that actually on that side. I've overdone it. I've been out on my bike today for the first time in ages. Okay, so leg circles first. So we're stretching out. Always think about that stretch, stretch that leg away from you first. You can lift under that waist and then you're going to circle. Nice slow circles, and then change direction. And then bring that leg down. And then we're going to go into our leg lift and leg kick. So you're going to flex the foot first, take it back slightly, leg lift, leg kick. So we're just lifting under the waist a little bit. And it also helps to stabilise you. And then when we bring that leg forwards in that kick, just point the toe down and just lift and lower. You should really feel this. What should we do now? One more? Let's do two more. Okay, and bring that leg back. Ooh, and then bend that leg, bend that knee. Give yourselves a pat if you need to. Put it more on the other side. So blocks in place, arms out in front, chin slightly tucked, and just follow in your peripheral vision. Just about be able to see your arm. Try to keep the hips stable so they're not, moving back. They might do a little bit, but they shouldn't. Even I was letting them go back then just now. We'll just finish off last one. And all the way back. Excellent, okay. And then just coming to your backs. I think we deserve a nice, strong, long glute stretch. So right leg over the left thigh. Bring that knee out if you can, and then lift if it's possible, and then just really encourage that right knee away from you. And breathe. And release. Change over to the other side. Take that knee out. So if you feel stiffer on one of the sides, always just maybe take a little bit longer on that side. And release. Excellent. So we're going to do our hip rolls now. So arms out to the sides. So you've got good stability, and either feet on the floor, you can bring the feet up if you want to, but pulling through the abdominals, or we could do a bit of both, it's up to you, but most, you know, a lot of people like to keep their feet on the floor. That means you can take your knees all the way over if your feet's on the floor. I'm going to do half and half, so starting off just still working into the abdominals. And for those of you that want to come back down to the floor, I would do so now. So this is just your calm time now, just coming towards the end. Just relaxing you off, ready for the evening ahead. We've just got one more. And then we're bringing the knees back into the middle, feet on the floor now. And then we'll bring, let's stretch the legs away actually, and just take the arms over. Full body stretch, so we're lifting the back off, so just let the back stretch as well. And then you can either do a roll up from this position, a full roll up if that feels comfortable, or you can just come up to seated however you want to. And then seated however you want to sit, you don't have to sit cross-legged. Okay, so we're just going to squeeze the shoulders up towards our ears and then just let them drop and relax there. And we do that one more time, squeezing up and just let them drop. That feels good. Okay, stretch the arms out, take a breath in and out. And in again. And out. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a bit cooler tonight, and see you next week, or I'll see you Thursday at 6 or 7. Thank you.